Hey everybody, John at IPT Trans. Today we're doing a clutch pack in a Volkswagen or Audi DSG transmission. First step is going to be to remove this large snap ring. Then we're going to have to pry this cover off. Once that cover is removed, we're going to remove this next snap ring. Take off the clutch cover on this long shaft. As you can see, there's another snap ring here which we need to remove. After that snap ring's out, you can remove the whole clutch drum. Inside the clutch drum, you have a hub. There's a bearing here that you're going to need to be aware of. There's another hub. And there's two sets of clutches. There's a small set. And along the outside, you have a large set. Okay, this is what we took out. That's your 4 clutch setup. This is the new setup with 5 clutches. Your snap ring and your top pressure plate you're going to reuse. So we're going to put these in alternating steel plates and friction plates. We're going to end up with a steel plate on the top. Then we're going to reinstall our original top pressure plate and our snap ring. Okay, on the small set of friction plates, we're not going to reuse your original top plate. We're going to use the top plate that's supplied with the clutch pack. Also, I've soaked all these frictions in trans fluid for 15 minutes before we're going to install them. Where you're going to have to look before you do these. These are directional clutches. You can see they have grooves on them and they have to face a certain way. It's going to be tough to see once the clutch is soaked. But when it's dry, you can see it's marked top. You're probably not going to be able to see it in the video, but the important thing is to make sure the grooves look like this and not like that when they're facing up to you. So same thing, we're going to alternate friction plates and steel plates. And then we're going to end up with the thickest plate on top. Now you're going to try and line your clutches up as best as possible. And you're going to put your hubs in, starting with the small hub. You'll know that it's down all the way by the sound that it makes. This bearing may come off. If it's not stuck on there well, you're going to get some trans assembly grease and kind of glue the bearing onto the outer hub. Same with this hub. We turn it until everything drops down all the way. When there's a solid down sound, that means everything's down. Next, we're going to put the whole clutch drum inside the trans. Be careful, there's rings here. You want to make sure that they've remained closed and they haven't opened up, because you don't want to break them putting them in. You're just going to turn it. When it's down all the way, you'll have the snap ring groove exposed. Now the snap ring is kind of tight, so it's probably going to take a couple tries to get it in there right. Once it's in there right, you'll hear it click, and you'll see it turns freely in the groove. Next, the shaft has to go back in. And the cover needs to go back on. Finally, we install the snap ring in the groove. You're also going to notice there's one raised portion. I don't know if you can see it that well, but the snap ring has to end with this raised portion of the clutch hub in the middle of it, or you're never going to get it in. The last step is going to be to put your cover back on. I put some assembly lube, which is STP and trans fluid mixed together. On all the surfaces, and you got to be careful putting this in because you don't want to tear the seals on it. Once you have this all in and seated correctly, then you can put your snap ring back in. Make sure it's seated all the way. Make sure everything turns freely, and you're done. Alright, as you can see, this is a pretty easy job. I want to thank Danny at KMD Tuning for developing this kit with me. The kits are going to be available through us or through KMD Tuning, as well as the software that's compatible with this kit available through Danny at KMD Tuning.